Good morning. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you've signed on and that you are curious about what I've noticed this week because I'm going to take a little bit of a risk. Sometimes just presenting information can get I run out of things to talk about because there's always a lot of things to talk about when I go into energy, right? So, at my core, I collect pieces of wisdom and I turn them into information. So, I am a bridge between the educational, psychological, familial, corporate viewpoints and this esoteric wisdom. And not a lot of us take time to study astrology, tarot, numerology. Think of the things that are all these ancient wisdoms that have been around for thousands and thousands of years. There is information there that we miss when we're staying up here at this static level. So I'm a bridge between these two, and I try to explain what might be going on. So, what's happening right now is that in the last week, well, it started about a week and a half ago when we got halfway through, just a little bit before halfway through those two eclipses. So we've got April 19th and 2 days ago, April 5th, Friday. I started to have conversations with different colleagues and clients. And for those of you who know me, you know that I work with a bubble map system, which is where I just grab concepts that someone's talking about and we put them down until we've dumped about anywhere between 5 and 20 of them down on a piece of paper. And then we start to weave them together as to what might be going on. This is a process I use in my coaching, and I haven't really done this with you on such an esoteric level before, but I think it's really important and really fun to do right now. So let's go to this eclipse, right? And before the eclipse happened, during the eclipse, and after the eclipse, we have these solar flares, geomagnetic storms. We have some astrological aspects, some squares, some conjunctions that well, for those in the astrological field, they're going, wow, this is bigger than anything we've seen in a long time. Which, when they're worried or they're bringing something up, I catch a hold and go, oh, okay, let's pay attention to that. So we have these things that are hitting us on a cellular level and starting to make some changes. So imagine that you're a seed underground and you've been sitting there dormant, waiting for the weather, waiting for something in nature, water, weather, timing to say it's time to burst open and grow, right? What if our cells have been like these dormant seeds, and some of this exuberant energy that's coming in, that's hitting us on these solar flares over and over and over again, it's sort of cracking something open in us, and we're starting to shift and change. So part of what happens first is there's the burst. Second is the falling away of the shell that kept it. And then third is the expansion into, I don't know where I'm going. I think we're just going up through the dirt and heading towards that sunshine until I know what's happening, right? So we just completed this 2 week eclipse season where a lot of that cracking happened. And whether we are aware of it consciously or not, something changed, right? Something really changed because over this period of time, I mean, look back to October, to April 19th, 20th, if you lived in the UK or overseas, UK, Europe, in a different time zone, right? Rocky, irritable, bringing massive shifts, some clarity like, oh, I finally get what I need to do, right? And the crescendo, it sort of like happened on Friday. And Friday was like, whoa, something big is going on. So the analogy that I've created and used with probably 5 or 6 friends and colleagues in right now is, imagine that you have a bridge, right? So here on this side is an anchored rock, and here on the other side is an anchored rock, and there's a rope bridge. Use your imagination from movies, from anywhere where you are thinking rope bridge, kind of rickety, old, could crack at any time. And down below is this canyon. It might be really high, it might be really dangerous, it might have a lot of rushing water, it's scary. And there's this bridge that we're being asked to cross during the eclipse. So starting around probably the end of March, getting ready for April 19th. We're at this platform over here, and then we're starting to sort of walk across the bridge, and it's shaking, and we're going, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to do this. And so we get to that middle of that bridge, and you know, imagine that because the bridge is old, because it's rickety, it's gonna bring up fears, it's gonna bring up doubt, it's gonna bring up tension, it's gonna bring up, abort, get out, go back, go stand on that safe platform back there. And our worry and our patterns and our self-medicating, like the sheer amount of weed and alcohol, and TV and sex that's been going on right now, just in this last 2 to 3 weeks is incredible, right? Check in with yourself and see, what are you doing when this agitation shows up? What do you reach for? Are you streaming an entire new Queen Charlotte episode on Netflix with Bridgerton, right? What is it that you're doing, right? Because you're hiding, you're holding in, you're observing, you're waiting, right? So this 419 to 55 is in a karmic and ancestral bridge. And the reason I'm saying that is because it's in Scorpio. So Scorpio, as I've shown this card several times, is the one who can go down to the very depth of our subconscious and our emotions and cut free the things that no longer serve us, the things that keep us tied to the past. I like the way Osho does this, in that you have rebirth, you have the phoenix coming out, you have the sleeping scent, you have the lily pad. So, either way, these are both death. These are both Scorpio. These are the way that Scorpio is going to hold this eclipse, especially coming up to Friday, the 5th, 2 days ago, right? So if this is karmic, it's karmic because in astrology, this full moon that we had on Friday, that also has a lunar eclipse that we had on Friday, is conjunct, like right up against, side by side, with the South Node. The South Node is our past, it's our karma, it's our ancestral lineage, it's the things that we are here in this lifetime to remove from our path, to get it out of the way so that we can start to be who we are, right? So this is really big work. So when we start walking across that bridge, consciously or unconsciously, we may be just driving the kids to school, right? Sitting with our friends having coffee, work, trying to concentrate, but something's off. It's agitating, and and old stories are coming up, and it's been a difficult last 2 weeks, and it got really difficult last week, right? So whether there's changes, you're noticing, oh my gosh, I can't spend another second sitting with that person. I can't listen to this TV being on for one more minute. I don't want to do this job anymore. I don't want to have count pennies every single month until and try to find out how to solve the financial pressures that keep growing within me or my family system, or within the economic process that you're in, right? So these are the things that are sort of building. And when they're building and we don't know what's going on, that's when I hopefully can bring in something that says, hey, what if you're on a bridge and the bridge is kind of shaky and it is not feeling really good? Then you're like, ah, man, thank you, because I didn't know what that was. I was taking it personally. What's wrong with me? Why is this happening? Right? So we're also getting messages, we're getting synchronicities, we're getting like tap, 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 tap. We're getting dreams that are telling us, guiding us, telling us where to go, right? So the next piece that I want to talk about is that you're going across this bridge, and let's say you get to that halfway mark and you're like, this rock up ahead is where I want to go. This rock is my future. I want to get to this future where things are a lot easier. So I've left the past and I'm going across this rickety old bridge up to the future. And you get about halfway, and you start to get closer to where you want to go. You can expect that people, places, and things in your past are going to start yelling at you. They're going to start shaking the bridge. They're going to just try to scare you to get you to turn around and come back, because you're supporting the patterns in the lineage that's been going on for decades, for generations, right? This makes sense as well. So now you're kind of like, whoa, and all you can do is keep going towards this future. So That's all great to know that you're on a bridge between 2 spots and that you're moving from one point to the other. And what I want to tell you is that just as the eclipse goes, so it's 9:14 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on Friday, during that whole Friday, you can imagine that as you're getting close to this rock, let's just say you have 2 more feet or a foot, this end is going to give way. It's going to literally sever and fall off. So at this point, you are either clinging, right? And so think of the dramatic Hollywood movies, right? You're clinging and you've got 10 more feet to climb or 2 more feet to climb, or you just barely got up before it fell, or you're standing there looking and watching it collapse. However you want to do the imagery, know that that piece, that karmic lineage, that past just boom, fell away. Now, there are people on that side, there are relationships on that side, there might be work on that side, there might be an entire life that you led very uncomfortably or comfortably on that side. Yet, energetically, physically, you're now on the other side going towards your future. This is what's happening to each of us on our own path, on our own journey, is that we're now either determined to keep climbing and get there, or to sort of what's the way I want to say this? Um, get to the other side and just go, I made it, or turn around and go, that part of my life is past, right? So you can hold on and climb. You can rest in that future spot and recalibrate and charge and recharge and feel and go, okay, I'm here. Or you can get up and explore and go, so this is what my new life is going to look like. This is what my future is. And what do I want to feel and what is possible? And what do I want to create from this side? Because I just crossed something. Think of an analogy, think of a an assignment, think of something and go, I'm on the other side now, so what do I want to do with this? And this is where the invitation, this is where it's really important to go, wow, what do I want to do? So I have 4 tips for you, because with the chariot card, the 7, the magic of 7, you're sitting holding the vibrations and waiting until it's the right time to step forward, or you're just simply ready to step into action, right? So, tip number 1, go back through the dates on your journals. Go back through your calendar, sit down, have a quiet time, sort of gather together things like, what happened in March of 2020? Where was I in December of 2021? What happened last year, December 21st, 2022? What happened at the spring equinox 3/22/23? Or what just happened April 19th/20th till May 5th/6th, right? These are significant shift dates, and you might find that there were arguments, there were decisions that you made, that there were changes in the direction that align with the area where those dates were, because that's how energy and synchronicities work. So, what I like to do is encourage you to go back and draw a perspective of the dates from the past as to how you got here. So you can pause this and rewind it and get those dates if they're important to you. Chart them out and learn what you can about yourself. Number 2, smile. You're on the other side of the eclipse. You are on the other side of this time. And now it's time to feel into, what do you want? What do you want to create? Pay attention to how you allow this. Actually accept, hey, I'm on the other side. And those guys are gone. That life is gone. The lineage that I've been carrying on my back. And I wish I'd brought the other card. It's like burden. And I'm no longer carrying that. I'm free. I have a new level of consciousness, and I have a new level of energy and excitement. And what do I want to do with this? Right? So smile, and you're on the other side. Number 3, envision what you want to create in the future. Sit there and sort of go like, wow, what would life be for me with this beautiful landscape? What do I want to do? How do I want to step off of this and just trust that I'm in the right place going where I want to go? So, the way to do that is to access 2 things: fire and water, feelings and momentum, feelings and enthusiasm, right? So what we do is we hold into, we build the feelings, we build the moments of our life. We start to go, where was I enthusiastic? Where was I full of joy? Where was I happy? Where was I in that moment and it felt like time just stood still, right? That's what we want to do. We want to go grasp those from the past and bring them up and go, this is where I am now. And you feel it. What do I want to be? What do I want to do? How do I recreate a life that's different than what I was in that rut doing over and over and over again? So stay in this for the next week or so. Keep every time that you don't know what to do, that you feel a little bit of fear or worry, bring in a memory and feel it of, oh my gosh, I remember being, for me, I remember sitting on a mountain, on a peak that we just climbed out on the rocks at Lake Tahoe with 5 of my closest friends, thinking, man, we're in our mid-20s and the world is in front of us is wide open. And we had this conversation about, like, I can't believe we made it here and I wonder what we're going to do next. And that moment will always sort of stick in time for me because it was where magic started to happen. So go grab a hold of those and envision what you want to do, right? And number 4, have compassion for the world around you, because everybody can either drop to their knees and they can grieve at the past. They can grieve that it's gone. They can grieve that there's no longer people, places, and things in their life, even though they didn't work. They were safe. They were secure. And now we're in a place where we're all shaken up. We've been altered. We're looking around for what's next. And we have some of these old patterns that just are falling off of us right and left. So have compassion for this new you, for this old you, for those around you who love you and are watching you do really different, unique things than what you've done before. So if this is helpful to you and you want some support with that, by all means, drop me a message. You can go over to my website and go through it that way. All the contact information is down below. Would love to hear from you. And if you have remarks that you'd like to share, please put them on the comments. I would love to see those as well. You have a great Sunday. Keep your head up, look around, see what's possible, and enjoy the day. All right? You take care. Bye bye.